Hey. I have something that I want to share with you all on today. And I was thinking about what happens when you have clarity and it still feels out of reach. You've been praying, you've been fasting, you've been journaling, and it still feels like you don't know what God wants you to do. If that's you, then this video is for you. I want to let you know that you're not lazy. You're not faithless. You're not missing out on God. You're not missing Him. Um, but the truth of the matter is, clarity isn't about us doing more spiritual activities, it's about our alignment. I remember a season where I was doing all of the right things. I was in every prayer group. I was filling my journal, filling all of the pages back to front um, with prayers and with dreams, visions, whatever it is that I was writing in my journal. And times where I fasted until I felt weak. And I still felt like I was lost. I was asking God, why aren't you speaking? But here's what I learned. I learned that it wasn't that God was silent. He wasn't silent. It was that I was listening through all of the noise, all of the things that were going on around me, right? I confuse activity with alignment. And as long as I was striving, clarity stayed out of reach. So I have 3 points that I want to share with you on today. And the very first point is clarity is the fruit of alignment, not striving. When you are aligned with God, clarity, it just flows naturally. You don't have to chase it, you don't have to force it or anything like that. It just flows. Striving oftentimes looks like overloading yourself with devotionals, podcasts, conferences, hoping that one of those activities will unlock the answer for you. I want to give you an example because alignment, it looks like bringing your desires, your schedule, your priorities into agreement with what God already said. Already said. So think of a radio. If a radio is off frequency, what's going to happen? You're going to hear static. Striving is twisting that dial. You know how we twist it, trying to get it in the right frequency, right? Alignment is actually stopping. It's stopping, it's fine tuning, it's finding the right signal. That's what alignment is. So that's the first point. The second point that I want to make with you today is activity without direction builds frustration. So, a lot of times we as women, we confuse movement with progress. You're busy, but you're not productive in the kingdom sense because there is a difference. Activities like journaling, fasting, serving, signing up for programs, signing up for events, it all feels good, but without direction, they can drain you instead of building you. One example would be like running on a treadmill. You run on a treadmill, you got a lot of movement, right? But you're actually not moving forward. You're not moving forward. And that's what spiritual busyness without alignment feels like. You're moving, right? But you're not moving forward. And the enemy doesn't always need to derail you with sin. Let me say that. There are some things that he's just not going to be able to get me to do. Sometimes it's the distractions. Sometimes it's the distractions of activity. He loves to do that. Now, the third point that I want to make with you is that God reveals clarity when you learn to rest in his presence. Rest does not mean that you are inactive. It does not mean inactivity. Rest is trust. It's stepping back from striving long enough to let God speak. Yeah, yeah. So sometimes the reason that you can't hear clearly is because your soul is too loud. Your soul, your mind, your will, your emotions is too loud. It's drowning everything out. Remember when Elijah heard God and he wasn't in a wind, he wasn't in an earthquake, he wasn't in a fire, but in the gentle whisper. That's in 1 Kings chapter 19. The whisper requires stillness. So when you quiet your mind and your body, you give space for God to direct you. Yeah, so rest doesn't delay clarity, it actually positions you to receive it. So if you've been stuck in confusion, stop beating yourself up. Stop thinking that God has forgotten you. The shift happens when you trade striving for alignment. And this is exactly what I help women to do inside of the DDB breakthrough cohort. DDB stands for dismantle, discern, and to build, right? DDB. So if you're ready to step out of all of the confusion and to step into clarity, I want you to book a call with me today. The link is going to be in the description. And you don't want to delay because our next cohort is going to be starting soon. So make sure that you tune in, make sure that you stay connected because we are going to be sharing lots of information with you that will prayerfully be the answer that you've been searching for. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace.